What's good, my zesty lemons? It is Lee, and thank you so much for stopping by Zesty Tarot. So today we're going to do something a little different because I've always wanted to do video reactions. Now, I will be honest, this is not a blind reaction, but it is a reaction because I love this song so much. And this is by Domani, T.I.'s second son. As you all know about the whole T.I. versus 50 beef that's going on. I think it all started with T.I. wanting them, well, not him, well, T.I. and 50. T.I. wanted 50 to go on verses, but for whatever reason, 50 was like, yeah, but then he changed it up and then started moving funny. And so then he had posted a picture of T.I.'s wife in an unflattering manner and just started just doing some crazy cornball type stuff. So they had made mention, actually I think it was T.I. that had made mention that he wanted to basically dig a little deeper to kind of understand where 50's psyche was going. Like, why does he do what he does? You know what I mean? So you had King that came out, you know, crashing out on him, which is completely understandable because, for one, you don't talk about somebody's mom. You know how you was when somebody was like, oh, your mama this, your mama that, your mama's so fat or whatever. You was ready to break somebody's teeth in. You know what I'm saying? So nobody had time for that. So it's completely understandable for any child, regardless if you're grown or not, to stand up for their mother, especially if she has nothing to do with the beef. You know what I'm saying? But we're just going to go ahead and get into it. So this is, I don't have a setup, as you know. I just have my little camcorder. So we're just going to listen to the song, and I'm going to do my reaction, because like I said, it's not a blind reaction. But I would like to add my 2 cents to it. And let's get started. Hopefully this is not too loud and it won't drown me out. Okay, sorry. I forgot to start my intro. If this is your first time watching me, welcome. I gotta look over here because I'm used to the camera being off to the side. But if this is your first time watching me, hi, this is Lee in the flesh, and I'm glad that you stopped by my channel. I am a tarot reader, and I like to, my niche is celebrity readings, and I do readings on things that call out to me, like this right here. So now that we got that out the way, let's go ahead and enjoy. I love how Outkast approved this.
Miss Jackson, am I overreacting or is it valid? I wanna have a one-on-one convo about it, man. You sacrifice your life for so the world could see his talent. He's a legend now, I guess it worked out, but I need some answers. Are you happy?
Okay, so basically he wanted to talk about, he wanted some answers is what he was saying. So he decided the best way to get some answers is to speak to the person that brought him into the world, which is Miss Sabrina Jackson. Okay, this is 50 Cent's deceased mom. Allegedly, she was drugged, beaten, and then after she was beaten, she was put in a house where later it caught on fire. Also, I don't have the thumbnail for this yet, but on the original video you'll see the picture of 50 Cent's house that was burnt down. And with that story, 50 Cent's son's mother and her had to get out because of the fact that it was alleged that 50 Cent burnt the house down. But on top of that, she had noted the fact that he was making threats towards her, allegedly. I hate to say it like that because I personally believe her, but I don't want anybody coming for me, and I wasn't there to witness it, so it's safe for me to say allegedly. But she's standing 10 toes down on it, like, I know he did. And, you know, and it gets on my nerves how people are like, well, how do you know? Like, girl, she's telling you. She's not going to just make stuff up just to be. I mean, I guess it could have happened, but something in my soul is telling me that she is very fearful of this man. And she said, you know, he wants to control everything. He didn't like the fact that I didn't want to be with him anymore. And so that's why he did what he did. So anyways, let me go back here a little bit so I can continue. So that's why you hear the lighter. It's so eerie, like a haunted lullaby. The sarcastic, like the timid laugh that 50 Cent does.
Miss Jackson, am I overreacting or is it valid? I wanna have a one-on-one convo about it, man. You sacrifice your life for so the world could see his talent. He's a legend now, I guess it worked out, but I need some answers. Are you happy with the way he been holding your family name? I need to know, cause I can't sleep at night thinking you died in vain. I think it got to.
So he's wanting to know answers. He's wanting to ask her, are you happy with how 50 is holding the family name? You know, he's a legend now. And so what he's wanting to know is, are you happy with the way that he's moving, considering the fact that you sacrificed everything for him to get to where he's at today?
People won't tell him because he pay him.
Hold on, let me go back. Sorry. It's like ADHD, my fault.
Miss Jackson, am I overreacting or is it valid? I wanna have a one-on-one convo about it, man. You sacrifice your life for so the world could see his talent. He's a legend now, I guess it worked out, but I need some answers. Are you happy with the way he been holding your family name? I need to know, cause I can't sleep at night thinking you died in vain. I think it got to him.
I need to know if you're happy with the way that he's moving, because I can't sleep at night knowing that you died in vain. Like, you sacrificed so much for this man. And I think, considering what they say about her, like, she wasn't really the best mom. So in a way, she had to leave in order for him to become who he was. And so he's kind of questioning, like, was all of this worth it? I can't sleep at night knowing that your sacrifice was in vain, because I'm not really seeing where the legend part comes in.
Tell him because he pay him. The emperor's new clothes to tell. We need to tell. We feel the way he been holding your family name. I need to know, cause I can't sleep at night thinking you died in vain. I think it got to him. People won't tell him because he pay him. The emperor's new clothes to tell. We need to tell. Okay, he thinks that it got to him. Okay, the emperor, he's got people that know what's going on, but they won't say nothing because he pays them. The emperor's new clothes tells us that we need to tell. So on that's based off of a childhood fairy tale about an emperor who was bamboozled by some merchants. He was led to believe that he was going to wear this attire that it was nothing, basically. But it boosted up his ego for him to just run around here flamboyantly. And so with people knowing what's going on, but they won't tell him because of the fact that he's paying them, and then with that part coming in, he's lining it up. So if you know the correlation to that, then you'll understand it. Too many times from shells or either jail. Cats got 9 lives, one more, we ring the bells now.
Okay, we've lost too many people from gunshots in jail. And then he said that cats got 9 lives, one more, and it'll ring the bell. So it's like, you know, 50 got shot 9 times. But if he keeps this up, one more is going to do him in and he's going to ascend.
I wanna do it. Reason I came to
and
you,
he doesn't want to do it.
talk me through it. Maybe it's something that you could tell me, bring some understanding. I'm more level-headed than the people headed to this mansion. I hope you know it's time sensitive.
Okay, I'm more level-headed because I need you to talk to me and walk me through it so that I can have a better understanding of this, because at least through me, I might have more sympathy and compassion in the matter, because I've got some individuals over here that is headed to him or headed for him right now, and it's time sensitive. It's like, well, I need to know right now, like, what is going on with your son? You know, maybe if you can bring me some, or send me some wisdom of some kind, then maybe I can talk to him. Now, you can look at this as a physical threat, or this could be a lyrical threat, stating like, look, if you can just send me some type of guidance, maybe I can have some type of understanding so that I can pass this on to the individuals that are getting ready to crash out and head to his house verbally, you know what I mean, lyrically. Or it could mean exactly they about to come and they gonna, you know what I'm saying, like he said, cat's got 9 lives, but one more can ring the bell.
I think it really was a little confused, but I won't mention it. Part of me, if I'm digging it, hate to have you.
Okay. He says, part of me was a little, I think he was a little bit confused, but I won't mention it. So with that part right there, I did a little bit of research, and they were talking about, there was a line that 50 said about how he was confused when he saw his mom kissing another woman. And so he's like, I'm not even going to touch that. You know, if he doesn't understand the dynamics right now, then, maybe he's just going to have to leave it at that.
Living it, you supposed to be resting. Just a few questions. Do you whisper in his ear before he makes the decisions? Can you hear you pass the nervous laugh he do when he timid? And is he really happy? Time to took the back to get gimmicks led to the actual business. He used to be something.
Hold on. Sorry, y'all.
I hope you know it's time sensitive. I think it really was a little confused, but I won't mention it. Part of me, if I'm digging it, hate to have you reliving it. You supposed to be resting.
Okay, so he's asking for forgiveness for having to come to her to dig up and hash out old situations. And I love how he said you're supposed to be resting. I understand that you're supposed to be resting, but I need some answers here, because I have nowhere else to go besides talking to you about it. And I understand that you're resting. So yeah, I'm here to dig up the grave, because this is the closest thing to the source that I can get to get an understanding.
Just a few questions. Do you whisper in his ear before he makes the decisions? Can you hear you pass the nervous laugh he do when he timid? And is he really happy? Time to took the back to get gimmicks led to the actual business.
Okay, so he's wanting to know, like, do you have a spiritual connection with him? You know what I mean? Like, do you whisper in his ear? Do you give him guidance of any kind? Now I want to talk on this too, because I've seen a couple of reactions where they were like, I don't feel comfortable with the idea of him reaching out to his mom. Well, here's the thing. A lot of individuals talk to themselves, okay? A lot of individuals talk to God, whomever, that they deem as a higher power, someone that can offer guidance from up above, okay? That is a normal thing that people do. I love the saying, I talk to myself because sometimes I give myself the best advice. Some people truly believe that their passed down loved ones will offer guidance to them, just like we believe that God is going to offer guidance to us. So what's the difference there? I'm not trying to provoke any type of religious thing, but I'm just saying, that little whisper that you hear, it could be. And I know that they say, well, you got to pay attention to the type of energies that's surrounding you and blase, but if the energy is not forcing you to go and harm somebody, that if it's actually coming from a loving place, that I don't see what the issue is with wanting to negotiate. As a matter of fact, I lost my best friend back in October, okay? And I talked to her. Does that make me crazy? Maybe so, and I don't really care how anybody feels about it, but that was my sister. I love her, So I'm still in that grieving phase where I wish that I could talk to her about certain things, so I will just say what I feel. You know what I'm saying? Do I expect for the house to flip over because of the fact that, I spoke to her? Absolutely not. So I feel like people need to leave the whole religion thing out of it and just keep it straight at music. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, he also questioned, about how he's trading his legendary status for propaganda, you know what I'm saying, and gimmicks. Like, this is what he's doing right now. And I'm just trying to make sense as to why he's doing it.
We thought it was a joke, but now we see something off of him. I offer him a chance to reunite with you, and I'll do it. Nothing left to do, so I just send it to you, Miss Jackson.
So he said, at first we thought it was funny. You know what I'm saying? We thought it was, a little hee ha ha, but then we thought about it like, wait a minute, something's really off with this dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is he stupid so low and to that degree? You know what I'm saying? So he's like, the only thing that I have left to do is to send him to you. So I need to know what's going on, because he's unstoppable. I don't want to do it, but if I gotta be the one to do it, then so be it.
Hey Curtis, I encourage you to do a little research on my whole family, but you can start with me first. I know you're not familiar with a mother or a father.
Okay, so he's saying, I suggest that you do some research on the family, but I want you to start with me. The reason why I want you to start with me is because I'm going to be the one that is level-headed to sit down with you to speak the truth, which alludes to the fairy tale. It took a child, an innocent child, to see that something was not right, to call out the fact that this man is walking around here naked, just parading and making everybody uncomfortable because everyone else was scared to say it. It wasn't until that child said something about the emperor being grossly nude that everybody was like, okay, finally somebody said it. Yeah, what's wrong with you? No. Why did it have to take a child to come and sit you down and sun you? It's your responsibility not really to sun me, but to teach me. But here I am teaching you about yourself. I love that.
Hey Curtis, I encourage you to do a little research on my whole family, but you can start with me first. I know you're not familiar with a mother or a father. Maybe that's the reason easily you'll talk about them. Maybe that's the reason you be targeting the women. Let somebody try your mama, bet you probably want to kill them. Speaking of killing, Curtis, I heard you was a firebug. Well, I'm going to be the reason on your...
Okay, so he's saying, I understand that you never had a mom or a father to give you guidance. And that's the reason why you go towards women the way that you do. You know what I mean? This is why you think it's okay to disrespect my mother the way that you did. You know what I'm saying? What else did he say? Hold on.
Talk about them. Maybe that's the reason you be targeting the women. Let somebody try your mama, bet you probably want to kill them.
Right. If your mother was here and somebody talked about your mom the way that you're talking about my mama, or anybody else's mama, you'd be ready to toss them up. You'd be ready to tap their tooth. But she's not here. So you can't resonate with that. You're numb in the inside.
Killing Curtis, I heard you was a firebug. Well, I'm gonna be the reason all your fans put their lighters up. Put your lighters up if you've dealt with abuse. Put your lighters up if you no longer enthused with a nigga running around, profiting off our pain. Love it when we fall down, that's when Curtis gets paid.
Okay. So he's saying, put your lighters up if you've ever been abused. Put your lighters up if you're no longer enthused by basically his gimmicks of how he basically preys on people's downfall. When people are suffering, that's when he gets paid. And he always has the habit of hashtagging his companies or whatever it is that he's working on to slap a stamp on it. Like a term of approval of this person's demise. You know what I'm saying? You don't destroy Ja Rule. You over here mocking the death of Irv Gotti. You was making fun of a autistic, I think he was a 16-year-old autistic boy, and they called you out on that and forced you to apologize. You know, you're disrespectful to Vivica J. Fox. I think that's her name. Yeah, I think Vivica. Yeah, Vivica. Sorry, retrograde. You're disrespectful, and I understand the whole thing with Jane Doe and things like that. But just the way that you're going about things, the way that you disrespected your mother's or your son's mom, you burnt down, allegedly burnt down the house because that was your way of just trying to get rid of anything of your past, you know. And it's ironic how you state that you don't like Oprah because you felt like she was doing the exact same thing that Domani is saying that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And she's something else too. But the thing is that, and I think that you was on her show, and you felt like she was exposing you for profit. So you're turning around doing the exact same thing because to you, the woman is the weaker species. And at this point, it's not even about the man or the woman. It's anybody who you perceive as weaker than you. Because you've built such a strong empire that this is why you believe that you're untouchable.
Your light is open if you too want the truth. Many men sin but don't profit like you from it. You don't even drink but you'll fake it for the news coverage. Seem like you know 50 Cent more than you know you, Curtis. Goddamn.
Right. You hide behind your persona. It seems like you know 50 Cent more than you know yourself. Even Batman, Superman, they all have to take off their mask from their alter ego. You never take yours off at all. You have to hide behind 50 Cent because Curtis Jackson is weak. And I know that people gonna be upset at that. Well, you don't even know him, and you're right, I don't know him, but neither do you. You know what I mean? It's funny how when it comes to sensitive songs like this, you really see how people move, especially how they think. I've seen a lot of people ignoring the lyrics in its entirety just to point out the hitters in it instead of listening to the whole purpose of the song. Y'all focusing on, this is how you can tell. And see, I can't even say that because I'm learning more and more through hip hop. For one, I mean, I like rap music. I like all music, honestly, but after Kendrick, and you should have known that was going to come, but after the way that Kendrick bodied Drake, that is something that was always going to be memorable in my mind. I am one of those individuals that I can't stop playing the whole 9 yards. As a matter of fact, I just listen to Kendrick's music. I don't even listen to Drake's part. And I had made a comment because someone on another channel has said that they was going to call Domani Dotmani, which I thought was hilarious, right? And I had said something like that. I was like, from here on out, his name is going to be Dotmani. And they was like, nah, you ain't going to do that. And y'all need to get off of that. And so, you know, I was thinking, I was like, you know what? He is right. Why am I so fixated on that? And then it came to me. I was like, well, you know, the truth of the matter is we are always listening to all of these hyperboles. You see what I'm saying? So it's a rarity for someone to actually come out and speak with such raw conviction, you know. And then let's not talk about the age gap. This man is getting bodied by someone half his age, and that proves to you that you still have time to learn your lessons. We all are growing every single day. And if it takes a child to expose you for your wrongdoing and your arrogance, then hey, he's going to have to do it. So, I lost my train of thought. So let me go back here. What did he say?
Put your lighters up if you no longer enthused with a nigga running around, profiting off our pain. Love it when we fall down, that's when Curtis gets paid. Now put your lighters up if you too want the truth. Many men sin but don't profit like you from it. You don't even drink but you'll fake it for the news coverage. Seem like you know 50 Cent more than you know you, Curtis. Goddamn, I think you...
Right, so, you know, you don't drink, you don't smoke. And that's the thing. This is why it's very important for us as fans or supporters. We have to set the barrier, or the boundaries rather, to understand that these individuals are not our saviors. Okay? You can try to mimic them, but they are human just like you. And in that business, everything is a mere fantasy, or it's all smoke and mirrors, basically. You know what I mean? So he's over here bullying people, and that's the ironic thing about it. Like, you're making fun of these people, which in hindsight, everyone that's watching you do this, you're mimicking their situation, even though if they have not came out and told you, hey, you know, I'm going through the exact same thing, or this happened to me. You have not became viral for him to expose you that way. You see what I'm saying? But you've experienced this before. But yet he turns around and he's like, well, here, I'm going to slap my name on this and you can just drink your sorrows away. He's not healing you at all. If anything, he wants you to sink lower. You know, misery loves company. But at the end of the day, you know, you got to think about the title of his first album, Get Rich or Die Trying. You know what I'm saying? And so that's exactly what his MO is. It's like, look, at the end of the day, I don't care. Okay? I need something to make me feel some type of substance about myself. And the only person that could do that for me is 50 Cent. Because I did not have a mother to give me guidance. You know, my mother told me to stop being a pussy and stop crying about some silly shit. And then my father, you know what I'm saying, I don't know exactly what happened to him. You know what I mean? So you didn't have guidance. I don't know how his grandparents raised him, but obviously he was going down a bad path because he was selling drugs at the age of 12, I think. So you was already in the streets. And I know that sometimes we're put in those situations and we feel like we can't get out, but the truth of the matter is that you can. You have to make that adamant choice to get out. So I understand the get rich or die trying, but now that you're rich, you're out of that. So why can't you just sit back and use your platform to help uplift the community? And not just the black community, but anybody that looks at you as their hero, which I don't think that we should, but we all do it. You know what I mean? We need someone that we can relate to, but instead, you're too busy kikiing and ha-ha at everybody else's pain. You know, like, it's too much.
Too far to stop now. I got a little more information you can jot down. Firebug, I can still smell the gasoline on you. Firebug, at least let them sleep before you cremate them.
Firebug, I can still smell the gasoline on you. Firebug, at least let them sleep before you cremate them. That is deep. He is in his word choice, because he's a lyricist, right? It's not so much about, I mean, it is about the wordplay. It's not about the beat. It's about how hard he can hit the soul. You know what I mean? Because he's going to be the one that's going to bring that truth out. How 50 will handle it, I don't know. But what I do know is he's letting him know. Like, let me put it out here. Have enough common decency that if you're going to try to take somebody's life away, allegedly, that at least allow them to sleep peacefully before you just cremate them. You can't even do that right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it irritates me because I can feel the conviction in the song. And while some individuals say that this is a disrespectful tone, the way that he's going about it, I don't think so. Because 50 should have never put his mother Tiny in the mix in the first place, or anybody. You got Tina Knowles, you got Tiny, you got anybody, but you don't do that with what's her name? She was the co-host or the host on Comedy Central for a while. Her name starts with a K. I can't remember, but y'all messed around and she loved you some, or she loved the mess out of you. You never say anything about her. You know what I mean? About how she exposed y'all's affair that y'all had going on or whatnot. But she was talking mad crap about Vivica J. Fox, and she felt the same way about you too. You didn't like that. You was embarrassed. You are embarrassed of your own blackness. That's what I think. Sorry, let me go back.
You went too far to stop now. I got a little more information you could jot down. Firebug, I can still smell the gasoline on you. Firebug, at least let them sleep before you cremate them. Firebug, ironic you not hot as what you used to be. Firebug, and I'm the one delivering your eulogy.
Right.
Firebug, don't let them put this light up. The next time you miss a mama, I can send you right to her. Try your luck. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
And there you have it. Like, ironic, you ain't as hot as what you used to be. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's what it is too. I've noticed that some of these rappers out here, that when the new generation is coming up, they feel threatened. So the best way to tear them down is to mock them. Just call it out for what it is. You're intimidated and you're jealous. And you will take it as far as it needs to go. You know, and he's telling you, I'm going to be the one that is going to deliver your eulogy. Can't talk today, this retrograde. Your eulogy. I'm the one that sounded the alarms. I'm putting your flame out right now. Or, because you can hear the lighter in the background as you can hear the house being engulfed in flames. He's putting your house out. You know what I'm saying? He's bringing it to the ground. Your whole empire is crumbling down. You know, and you can post as many memes as you want, but the thing is you're really showing your true nature. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have a selective outrage on who you want to pick on. And you got like people like Charleston White that's sitting there talking about some, y'all need to stay in your lane, and because you don't know. Well, I mean, here's the thing. I pray that it doesn't get that far, but if it gets to the point where 50 tries to do anything to them kids, which I hope he doesn't, or the family as a whole, I don't think it's going to go that way, but we'll see when I do the reading. But if it does, don't think for 1 second, like, look, they came at you lyrically this time around. What do you think that they're going to do to you if you try to touch one of their own? You know what I'm saying? I know people in town where I live at, that, I mean, they have a big family. You can mess with the 14-year-old boy or girl, and you got the mama, the daddy, the aunties, the cousins, and they coming after you. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, I know some people. I remember I went to my friend's house and I was heading there, and something said, no, I think you should go back. So I went back home. And I waited a few hours. Then I go back over there, and my friends, they was beat up. So I'm like, what's going on? And one of them had a shiner, I mean a big old knot. And she was like, talk to her. So I asked the other person, and they was like, oh, this girl came over here, and, you know, we started going at it. And then she went back and told her mama. And then the whole crew just came and just, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't play around. It doesn't matter if they are in the wrong or not. They don't play about their family. So if they're telling you in lyrics that they don't play about Miss Tiny, what do you think that they're going to do if you try to do anything to them babies? Okay, so it's like, you should have never, you got to pick your battles wisely. All right, so let's just, but let's go ahead and finish the rest of this, because, I also noticed in the background, you can't hear it unless you have on some headphones, but you can hear a news reporter in the back talking about that fire. So I think that this song was beautiful. It reminds me, like I said, of the Meet the Grounds, because I love the fact that anymore we're so used to hyperboles anymore and metaphors and similes that when somebody actually hits with the hard truth. You know what I mean? It just does something to you. It cleanses you in a way, if that makes sense. And that's exactly what he did. You know, another thing that I like is the fact that he is a Pisces. So he's very spiritually grounded. So going back to the whole, I don't want to make this a whole religious thing, but going back to that and people saying, oh, well, I saw someone saying, well, you can go back to your little Ouija board. Like, don't do that. You can keep those little comments to yourself. You don't have to get on a Ouija board to be spiritual and open to your spiritual intelligence. You know what I mean? He's calm, cool, and collected. That's what I like about him. And that's when, you know what they say? They say that the quiet ones are the most dangerous, you know? And even T.I. alluded to that. You know what I'm saying? He was like, you ain't harder than my son. What was that? Was that Lessons that he said that bar on, or was it Let Him Know? I can't remember. But yeah, he was letting them know right now, like, you don't want these problems. But yeah, I think that it took the child to confront the emperor and be like, dude, you moving funny. This is weird. You making people uncomfortable. So here's the thing, you know, if you miss your mama, I'm going to send you straight to her. You know what I'm saying? Because I already offered the opportunity. I'm trying my best to keep as cool as I can. That's why I'm coming to your mama right now to try to get an understanding of why you moving the way that you are. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't knock this shit off, the moment that you feel like you miss her, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to ring that bell. Send you right on up there to her. Then he apologized to her. So, this isn't my best reaction because, like I said, this is my first time doing it. I hope that I tapped in on most of what was going on, but that was my perspective on it. So now that I got that out the way, I'm going to come back with the reading to see how everything is going to transmute or transform into now that this track is out. So I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, I am back. So we're going to talk about how 50 Cent really feels about this situation. And I could try to go as deep as I can with it, but we're just going to see what we can get out of it. So, God, thank you so much for this opportunity to read on 50 Cent once again. And I would like to focus on the energy around Domani's song, Miss Jackson. Because you know that 50 heard it. And I know that there are a lot of individuals that are saying that he's still continuing to post memes and whatnot. But that kind of alludes to the timid laugh thing, you know. It's like, I'm just going to laugh it off. Even though I know that I'm hurting, I don't want you to see me sweat. But we're going to see. I don't even think I did an intro, if I did or not. But if I didn't, I'll do it again. Thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Lee, and I really appreciate you for being here. All right. Hopefully when I upload this, I won't get a strike, but we'll see. All right. So the first card we have is the Hermit card. So I think it's safe to say that Domani really got to him. You can see the look on his face. You can tell that, and this is in the personification of 50. He looks tired and wore out. And this is a path that he knows is not good for him. And so, but this is a path that he chose to be on. He has to go down this path to really see the revelations that has been trying to call out to him for all this time. I feel like emotionally he has been so aloof and so closed off from reality. And he's looking at this snake, and how I could look at this is while he's walking down this path, you know, if he didn't have that light, that snake could have bit him, could have hurt him, and he could have fell off that cliff if we want to be dramatic about it. But I feel like he's looking at the shadow side of him. You know what I mean? It's like, I do think that this record has really touched him in a way. But like I said, I don't think that he's going to share that. Okay, so we have the Five of Pentacles here. So with the Five of Pentacles, this is feeling left out in the cold, or this could be that maybe he's keeping quiet because he's trying to find a way to mess up his career, Domani's career in a way. We're going to do some clarifications here. Then we have Judgment. Okay, so with Judgment, one or two things could be either he's going to take it upon himself to apologize, kind of awaken from the situation, or he's just going to, out of the blue, start his antics again. Because Judgment, you know, is exactly what it is. It's like, you know, you're going to atone for what you've said. So I'm going to make sure that I put the hammer down on you. That is a possibility, but like I said, we're going to see once I do the clarification. Then we have the Seven of Cups here. With the Seven of Cups, this is like a whimsical mindset, but it warns that whatever, okay, so everyone has options. They have these options that they want to choose, but some of these cups may not be in the best interest. So with that being said, I feel like even though his ego is bruised, I have this sense that if he tries to do anything or say anything, it's going to be bad for him. I hope he doesn't try to do anything, you know, to the family, to defend his street cred or whatnot. But even if it's on a financial level, I think that he's going to get that karma right back. So let's go ahead and ask why these cards are here. And ironically, I also want to say ironically, but I do think too that even though Miss Sabrina is not here to actually say her piece, you know, I do believe that the universe does work in, you know, in mysterious ways. And, you know, if she's not liking the way that he's moving, you know, she might put, you know, the wrench in 50's career. Like, just don't play with the spirit world like that. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying so much on what Domani did, because he was just simply asking questions. Some people thought that that was disrespectful. I don't think so, because like I said, we talk to our families when they pass away. I talk to my best friend, and I don't see anything wrong with that. If we can talk to God, the universe, whoever you deem as your higher power, without any consequences, then I don't see anything wrong with that. But that's just me. I'm still a little under the weather, by the way. Are these okay? These are all in reverse. Let me make sure that they're okay. Yeah, they're all in reverse. My fault. Okay, so with the Chariot, this card is about forward movement, but I also look at this as the message of it's whatever you do from here on out is in your control. You know, you are the controller, you're the driver, basically. And so with him being a hermit right now, and then you have the Chariot, there is a possibility that he's going to come out and say something. But to be sure, let me make sure that I am on to something. Did I have my booklet? I don't know if I do or not. Hold on. I was in here trying to clean up because let me tell you, my room was a mess because I've been sick for a while and I'm still sick. And I just didn't feel like doing anything. I still don't, but I wanted to get this out because I'm tired of just laying around. So this is, okay, hold on. Okay. Okay, so if this was in the reversal, it would say afraid to move forward, obsessed, no sense of direction, with or without motivation. But it says here, upright, it says a force to be reckoned with. You are unstoppable when you work with a positive, focused mind. This card speaks to the self-confidence, drive, willpower, and determination needed to accomplish a particular goal or desire. It may also refer to an upcoming travel or even moving away to a new residence. An unexpected journey slash adventure or exploration may be coming your way. So now that right now, he, like I said, he's in hermit mode right now. So either he's going to come out and speak his truth, whether it's an apology, or he's going to crack down and continue with his antics. So we have the feminine charm with the Five of Pentacles. The feminine charm is the Empress. And so this is talking about the loss of the mother. I think he might, as he's doing, I think that he's continuing to post more memes on Tiny, but I think honestly that's just a way of just trying to deflect how affected he really is about the situation. Or he's going to try to take her down somehow. Now, I did hear that there were some allegations between Tiny and T.I. with some SA. I don't know how true that is, but and plus, you know, the internet is all smoke and mirrors also, and you can't believe half of what's going on because some of that stuff is AI influenced, so you don't know really what you're reading about or listening to. But it was alluded and alleged that 50 was talking about creating a documentary trying to highlight the things that Tiny and T.I. did. And if that's the case, then he's going to try to hit them where it hurts financially. We have the Five of Wands here with Judgment. So, yeah, the Five of Wands, so if he doesn't do that, if he doesn't try to hit them where it hurts in the pockets, then he's definitely going to try to create a scathing diss track that is going to get everybody in an uproar. But the thing is, because the realm of good and evil is obviously strongly divided, you're going to have a battle within the audience more than you are the people. And what I mean by that is, if he does drop a scathing track, they're not going to really focus on the intentions behind why he's doing it. I think that if anything, he's going to deflect how he's feeling, because like it says, he's going to come out confident. You know what I mean? He's not going to let anybody see him sweat. He's just going to, like he said, you know, y'all need me to influence you to make music. You know what I'm saying? The only reason why you're doing this is because you're trying to, you know, throw out your songs and whatnot. It may have been bad timing, who knows? But either way it goes, you can't take away from the fact that a child puts you in your place. And I shouldn't even call him a child, because, I mean, he's 24. He's 24 years old, you know, but it took someone of his stature, than an older man of your stature, to tell you that you're going about things the wrong way. So, yeah, I think that the judgment is going to come from something scathing here. And then at the bottom, or not the bottom, but we'll see here, we have the Two of Coins here. So with the Two of Coins, it's like he's trying to figure out which ones he wants to balance, which one is going to give him more profit. So it could be a toss-up between him actually trying to see how deep he can hurt the Harris family, or if he wants to project it specifically towards Domani. I don't think he's going to say anything to King at all. You know, I don't even think he even cares about what Rick Ross is talking about. But I think that when someone who is spiritually intelligent hits you in a way that you can't come back, you either have two reactions. Either one, you're really going to sit with that pain and be like, dang, I mean, he really messed me up with that. And it's going to force you to heal, or you're going to retaliate. And I think that's why here he was looking at that. You know, like, I was trying to be the old sage here, trying to be wise and kind of keep to myself, but I'm kind of looking at my shadow side. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe it's time to bring you out, you know what I'm saying, to do my bidding for me. So, I mean, and to add some humor in this, I mean, it'd be hilarious if he was like, hey, young man, you know what I'm saying, that was pretty good. How about you join me? You know, you got what it takes. So, which I wouldn't trust that. I wouldn't trust that at all. But, let's see, what else can I get out of this? I would love for someone to create a video of Miss Jackson, because in my mind, because I'm picturing how I saw it, I don't even care if it's AI generated. I want someone to create him either, I don't want him to go to her grave. I want him to go inside a house that was burned. And then her, you know, as he's going in, and then you hear the children singing la, 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 you know, like it starts, and he's like flicking the lighter or whatnot, and then she appears. And then he sees her, and then she just, you know, she appears, and she's looking at him like, well, what are you doing here? And then he starts it off, you know, with talking to her, and he's walking around the house, like looking at the damaged house, and but there's still things that remains, like maybe there's a picture of, you know, 50 and her, or whatever, maybe a burnt toy or something, you know, just to feed into the nature. I want it to be gloomy, but yet beautiful at the same time. I don't know. I can see it in my head, but I would love for someone to just really take the time to listen to the music and bring out the conviction and put that into a video. That would be so awesome to see. because I can't. It's like my chills won't go away until I actually see the visualization. Not so much that picture, but I want to see it in action. And I do think that, like I said before, I think that he's very spiritual. Very spiritually in tune with himself. And if I'm not mistaken, Pisces are known to be very psychic. Alright, so we have the Queen of the Ocean, which is abundance. So yeah, it's going to be for profit. He's going to try to find a way to get his look back financially, I believe. But the thing is that we have the Seven of Swords in reverse, and this is lost. So the upright version, anytime you receive the Seven of Swords, this is talking about someone that has stolen from you, and they got away with it. In reverse, they don't get away with it. So if he does try to come at Tiny and T.I. and try to create a documentary, that is going to be a major loss to him, and I think that he should just leave it alone. We have the Two of Cups with partnership. I feel like if he does drop a scathing diss track, he's probably going to have somebody on there with him. Probably a yes man to kind of steer the boat. It kind of reminds me of Drake in a way, because I've noticed that with Drake, he can't focus on just one person. He has to, I mean, it's cool that, you know, you are going to put everybody in the forefront, you're going to call everybody out at the same time, but if it's a particular enemy that you need to go toe-to-toe with, you don't need to have everybody else in the mix. It just needs to be you and that person. And I kind of feel like what he's going to do is probably try to have somebody partner up with him to create this track, you know, like try to jump him, since, you know, you got the whole family on him, so it's like it's only fair that I do this to you too. I want to make sure that that is the Queen of Cups and not like the Queen of Wands. Let me see if I can find. I'll be leaving my stuff all over the place and then I don't remember where I put it. That's ADHD for you. Hold on. Okay, I knew I put it here. Okay. Oh no, hold on, no, this is Queen of the Ocean. See, that's why I'm glad that I looked at that. Okay, my fault. So we got the Empress card twice. Okay, so it says the Queen of the Ocean is the Mother card, bringing happiness, abundance. She predicts contentment, a loving partner, family, comfort, reassures your needs are being taken care of. If you've suffered a financial setback recently, money will flow again. Old feuds will be forgotten. And let's see here. Old feuds will be forgotten and harmony rules the home. An additional reading is a spiritual growth, emotional stability, and creativity. The king also favors fertility, pregnancy, and children. As a person, she is a female partner, mother, or a mother figure. So this doesn't really have reversals. So let's go back here. Either he's going to, okay, so now there's several things that's coming up. Ultimately, I know he's hurt, okay? So he's kind of sitting with himself. Either this is going to drive him out to pick on her more. Like I said, I already know that it has been said that he's been picking on her regardless. But maybe he's going to keep on and take it a little too far. Or he's going to come out and apologize. The second card is the Ten of Wands, and it says responsibility. Okay, so with the Ten of Wands, this is always talking about, you know, the ending of a stressful situation. Like, finally letting go of the baggage that you've been carrying for so long. And taking responsibility, taking accountability for what you've done. So on a business standpoint, I honestly think that even though 50 has not responded musically, but continues to troll online, I think that this is also going to hurt his brand, because people are going to start paying attention to these things and then going back, you know, in the mental Rolodex, if you will, and kind of piece things together. So I think that 50 might be the next person that we will see kind of fall off a little bit. I mean, in a way, I think he should just continue to do what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to do your shows and promote the alcohol that you're not drinking or whatever, then do that. But just leave people alone. It could be possible that if he keeps it up, that Tiny's going to come out and say some stuff that's going to hurt him even more. Yeah. She might speak up. So we have the High Priestess with intuition. And this right here. So we have Judgment, okay? So this is a aha moment, basically. Or this is judgment as a whole. And it's teaching you to, instead of taking the time to focus on everybody else, you need to be the one to look at yourself in the mirror. But I want to see, I mean, they're all different, but whatever. We'll see what this says about the Judgment card. I hate that. I'm all stuffed up. Yeah, and contemplation, self-judgment, review, second chances, guilt, spirituality, memories. It is time to revisit the past. It is time to revisit the past, to take stock before you move on. You may muse on happy memories or discover that there's some unfinished business. So you may find yourself in a touch with someone from the past or revisiting an old situation to find answers. This kind of this is him. Basically, this part of the reading, the first few cards, was talking about what Damani was doing. In addition, at this time, you'll also be judging yourself on your past actions. Did you do the right thing? An additional meaning to the card is a spiritual connection and linking those to, in spirit, angel guides, angels, and loved ones. So, since we're asking about how 50 feels about it, like I said, I feel like Damani really hit. But also, for Domani, he might be a little, I had to do it to you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm wondering if it's enough to get you to understand. Like, because I don't think that he was really trying to come at him in a malicious manner. Like, you know, social media is trying to put it out there. Like, no, he genuinely wanted to know, you know, what was going on. And he had to be the one to call it out. Like, I'm not going to say yes to you. I'm not going to keep allowing people to let you walk around here hurting people all the time. You are abusing people for your own profit. Somebody's got to stand up, and it's going to be me. So with that being said, I also see this as, so with the Five of Wands here, like I said, this is a debate of some kind, or maybe it's a power struggle. I want to go through these just to make sure. Plus, I'm a little rusty because I haven't been touching my cards in a while, so bear with me. I can fall off a little bit. Okay, a problem with communication or conflict impacting your ability to move forward. Allow diverse opinions. Implement a clear strategy. Can also refer to inner conflict. Cooperation, peace, and avoidance. Yeah, so I could say that 50 is being avoided. He does not want to touch that. And not trying to say that I'm giving him a pass, because I guess I can give him a pass only if eventually it's going to lead to him realizing, like, yeah, I really need to get it together. You know, because speaking for myself, you know, when I had my stroke, I was very angry with the world. And I know psychologically it messes with you. A traumatic brain injury does transform you into a monster from time to time, you know. But I had to check the way that I was moving, the way that I was talking to people, you know, and even from past hurts, because I was bullied and picked on. I was very misunderstood, and I wanted to be liked like everyone else, but I had to develop this persona for protection. And I think that's exactly what this is, you know. But to have someone call you out and be like, yo, you think that you're doing a good thing, but you've done absolutely nothing. You stink in your pain. Go wash your ass. You are funky right now. I had to have that conversation with myself, because I've had people that was scared to talk to me about it. That's why no one wanted to talk to me. You know what I'm saying? So it had to be me to realize that I was stinking up the place, and that I was the only one that was going to have to fix it for myself. So this inner conflict that he's going through right now, you know, and then moving on to the partnerships. Maybe this is going to help him to do better towards the women that he has betrayed in the past. You know, maybe he is going to try to make amends with his son's mother, you know, apologize to her for what he's done. Or maybe it is going to come out that, you know, they found some information, and he did try to work things out with her, and she's got the receipts. But I don't know, either way it goes, I feel like he's definitely going to realize that he's been moving funny. Now, the weird thing about this is that while this talks about the intuition, it also talks about secrets, you know, and the feminine charm. But he might secretly speak to her about these things, like, let's just keep it, you know, keep it under wraps. But I have been doing some thinking. I'm pretty sure you heard that song, and it really touched me in a way that I don't want to admit. And I have to admit that I have been a terrible human being to you and a lot of people. Will you forgive me? You know what I mean? That could be a possibility. So with the Seven of Cups and the Two of Coins here, like I said, all of these cups, there's a lot of amazing things that you can have. But what if you decide that you want to get that dragon? Can you see that? What's that dragon going to do for you? You know what I'm saying? It's not going to help the peace. You might think that it's going to protect your fortress, but what if that dragon turns against you? You see what I'm saying? So yeah, at this time, he really needs to take the time to make a choice on what is really fulfilling for him at this time. Excuse me. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles, gratitude. So with the Nine of Pentacles, this is someone that has worked very hard for everything that they've gotten, right? And so honestly, I think that we're going to see him move a little differently. I think we are. He may not want to come out and admit it, but you know, and even with the Chariot, maybe he's going to fall back and kind of remain, you know, behind the scenes for right now. And then eventually reach out to the mind that, you know what, I really appreciated you doing that. Right now, it doesn't seem like it's plausible. Let's just go ahead and keep it real. But, you know, this could be something that could happen in the future. Can you give me some more insight on this, please? Why did you choose these cards? And then I'm going to pull a couple more oracle cards and then close it out. So I mean, there's a lot of angles that he can go. He could try to, like I said, he could try to attack Tiny again, try to pull her down, using TI for the allegations that I had mentioned, but that's not going to go well for him. Or he's going to just fall back. That was my chair if you heard that. Okay. So we got the Chariot again. The Two of Pentacles again. The Five of Swords this time around. Okay, so with the Five of Swords, this is knowing when to pick your battles. Sometimes you just gotta walk away. You know what I'm saying? While you trying to argue and have the last word, you know, sometimes it's just accept defeat. That's what this is. This is defeat. And then we have the Moon card. So with the Moon card, and I'll just say it like this. With that Seven of Swords being there, whatever it is that he's going to try to do, like I said before, I think that is going to backfire on him. I do. Where did I see that at? Yeah, let me see that. Loss. Okay, so it says the Seven of Swords is known as the Thief card of the tarot because it reveals something is being taken from you. Often it validates your suspicion. So if your intuition is telling you not to trust it, follow it, investigate the details further, then agree to an offering straight away. Or wait until you have the evidence that is genuine. Excuse me. Sorry. Also, this card asks you to take extra care of your possessions and protect yourself from any negative people who may drain your energy. Okay, so it says theft, negative people, insecurity, intuition, mistrust, decisions, and protection. So, if he tries to pull anything shady, I think it's going to backfire on him. Even if he's concerned about how T.I. and King or even Domani got the information that they got. I think that he's just going to let, you know, sleeping dogs lie, because he knows that if this gets exposed about him, then this can ruin him forever. Because, I mean, while he's sitting here, and that's the ironic part about it, you're sitting here laughing at everyone else that has had a downfall. And just like he says, you know, you're profiting off of people's downfall. But wouldn't it be ironic if you turn around and it happens to you? You see what I'm saying? Excuse me, retrograde. The judgment card is also the karma card too. You know what I mean? So, all right, let's go ahead. This is what I want to use. Maybe so, because I can't find the other ones that I was wanting to use. So it's all good. We're just going to keep it right here. And then close this out. I'm kind of excited to see how my first reaction is going to be. I'm scared out of my mind. I really want to start doing reactions, and this time they will be genuine blind reactions, but I guess in a way it would still be a blind reaction because you had no idea that I wanted to be a reactor. So I just want to play around with different things. It looks fun. Okay, so God, to close out this reading, can you tell me what messages that 50 should acknowledge in his life at this time? What messages are you trying to put out to him, whether it is from you or his own mother, or even them as a whole? Like, all right. Oh goodness, I feel another sneeze coming on. I'm so sorry, excuse me. Okay, so it says that my wishes float easily out in the world. Flying broom, I can let go of my mistakes. Shield of crystals, I am loved and protected. Time capsule, I have the confidence to be myself. And I think that these are the things that he honestly needs to learn. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to always prey on somebody's downfall. You don't have to provoke people to the pressure of their damnation. Instead of preying on people, pray for them. Wish blessings upon them. You know what I mean? Because like it says, my wishes float easily out into the world. You know what I'm saying? Go out there and do good for people. Not when it's convenient for you. Like, nothing has to have a string attached to it. Just be a good person. That's it. Flying broom, I can let go of my mistakes. So what's interesting here is that it fell on this right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you suffered a loss. You know, you should have never messed with their mother. You know what I mean? And even if you did have something to do with your mother's passing, or even you trying to burn down, I can't say that. I mean, he may have, you know, because they consider a child to play, because, you know, fire is such a enchanting element, you know what I mean? Elemental force. But I think if you did have something to do with the arson of your house, you know. But you're going to have to take it upon yourself to forgive yourself for what you've done and make it up to them. You know, be a better human being. I am loved and protected. Even, you know, and here's the thing. Somebody out here in the world loves that person that you just can't stand. Only because it hasn't happened to them. And even if it has happened to them, depending on the nature of the situation, you know, they're going to think the world of that person. Just like, you know, an abused child. Yes, their parents might be pieces of crap, but they're going to love the mess out of them because that's mommy and daddy. You see what I'm saying? But I feel as a whole, this is saying for them or him to understand, like, you can do better. And I can continue, like God is saying, like, I do love you. You know what I mean? And I want the best for you. This is why you're in the position that you're in. But no, I don't want you to to live in your legacy this way. I don't want you to be doing all that. Okay, so number 25. Let's see. I'm pulling all pages except for the one that I want. Okay, so it says gather. I'm chuckling because it says gather at least 9 small crystals of any type that you like. Place them on the cloth in your lap and then place them in your hands on top. And think about being strong and powerful. Think about your favorite things or places and give these thoughts to the crystals. Or, you know, I could see 50 doing this. Maybe he has the shells of the bullets that shot him, you know? Or maybe this is a metaphorical sense of stating, like, you really need to take the time to appreciate your life for what it is. Like he said, okay, cat's got 9 lives, but 1 more can ring the bell. Don't push your luck. Now, he could have told the truth and told you in a very, it is what it is. If you miss your mama, I can send you right to her. Try your luck. Say something about my mama again. Because this time it may not be that easy for you. You may not be able to duck out this time around. You know what I'm saying? So, really take the time to appreciate your circumstances. Use your platform for the good. Let this be the rebirth that you needed to waken your soul. And then the last card says, time capsule. I have the confidence to be myself. Be who you genuinely are. Okay? Be Curtis. Let 50 Cent sit somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Because he's played out. People are tired of the antics. They really are. And like I said, it's going to be a battle between good and bad, or, you know, good and evil or whatnot, because you're going to have individuals that thrive off of that negativity. And the only reason why that is because that's all that they know. Not trying to shame them at all. But you just don't mess with people like that. It's getting to the point to where it's not funny anymore. You need to find a new route. You know what I'm saying? Like Kendrick said to Drake, you know, the audience is not dumb. Okay, they're not slow. No one is in this situation either. Because now that they have shined a light on your antics, people are watching how you move. They have been, but this has also awakened the individuals that were indirectly yes men to you as well. And we play a role in that by encouraging the beef and fueling the fire. This is why he moves the way that he does, because he thrives off of the negative energy of individuals that don't have anything else better to do besides promote hate and pettiness. That's his strength. But if you take that away, who is he going to become? Curtis. So he has no choice but to. So that's the end of that. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I really hope that you like it. So now I'm about to sit back and watch it, and hopefully I don't get a strike, because that I'll be so sad if I get my first strike and then they take away my videos. So, alright, I'll see you on the next one. Oh, before I go, remember this. If this is your first time watching me, I would love for you to come back, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, a like, tell your friends about me, but most importantly, remember this: when life gives you lemons, always keep it zesty. Take care, everyone. Bye.